The Apple and the Stars. Once upon a time, in a charming little village in England, there lived a curious boy named Isaac. Isaac was no ordinary boy. He had a mind as sharp as the finest sword and a heart full of endless wonder. Every day, Isaac would roam the countryside, fascinated by the mysteries of the world around him. One bright and sunny morning, Isaac set off on his usual adventure. He walked through the meadows, his eyes darting from flower to flower and from bird to bird. As he wandered, he heard a gentle rustling coming from an old gnarled apple tree. Intrigued, he approached the tree and noticed an apple dangling from a branch. "Hello there, little apple," Isaac said, smiling. "What are you doing up there all by yourself?" To his surprise, the apple responded in a soft, sweet voice. "I'm waiting for the perfect moment to fall. You see, there's a secret I hold within me, and I'm just waiting for the right person to discover it." Isaac's eyes widened with excitement. "A secret? What kind of secret?" The apple giggled. "It's a secret about the stars and the ground, about why things fall and why they stay up in the sky. If you're patient, you might just find out." Isaac nodded eagerly and settled down under the tree, his back against its sturdy trunk. He gazed up at the apple, his mind racing with possibilities. Days turned into weeks, and Isaac spent every spare moment by the apple tree. He would read books, draw sketches, and even talk to the apple, hoping to unlock its secret. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, Isaac noticed something peculiar. The stars began to twinkle, one by one, in the vast, darkening sky. Why do the stars stay up there? Isaac wondered aloud. And why do things fall down to the ground? The apple's voice broke the silence. The answer lies in a force that connects the earth and the heavens, a force called gravity. Gravity? Isaac repeated, intrigued. "Tell me more." The apple swayed gently. "Gravity is what makes the stars stay in the sky and what makes me fall to the ground. It's a force that pulls everything towards the center of the earth." Isaac's eyes sparkled with understanding. "So it's gravity that keeps us on the ground and the stars in the sky?" "Exactly," the apple replied. "It's a force that connects everything in the universe." Isaac pondered this new information, his mind buzzing with questions. But how does gravity work? Why can't we see it? The apple chuckled softly. "Some things in this world are invisible but powerful, like the wind or love. Gravity is one of those things. It's a force that acts at a distance, pulling objects towards each other without being seen." As Isaac absorbed the apple's words, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the tree. Suddenly, the apple began to sway more vigorously, and with a soft thud, it fell to the ground, landing right beside Isaac. Isaac picked up the apple, cradling it in his hands. "Thank you for sharing your secret with me." The apple's voice was now faint but still kind. "You're welcome, Isaac. Remember, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. Keep asking questions and seeking answers." Isaac nodded, a determined look in his eyes. "I will, little apple. I promise." With the apple's words echoing in his mind, Isaac rushed home, eager to share his newfound knowledge with his mother. As he entered their cozy cottage, his mother looked up from her knitting and smiled warmly. "Isaac, dear, what have you been up to today?" she asked. Isaac's face lit up with excitement. "Mother, I learned something amazing today. There's a force called gravity that makes things fall to the ground and keeps the stars in the sky." His mother chuckled, her eyes twinkling with affection. "Is that so? And how did you come by this marvelous discovery?" Isaac held up the apple. "This apple told me all about it. It fell from the tree and shared its secret with me." His mother raised an eyebrow, amused by his tale. "An apple told you, did it? Well, you have quite the imagination, my dear." Isaac shook his head earnestly. "It's true, Mother. Gravity is real, and it explains so many things. I want to learn more about it, to understand how it works." His mother patted his head lovingly. "You have a bright mind, Isaac. I'm sure you'll uncover many more secrets of the world. But for now, it's time for supper. Come, wash your hands and join me at the table." As they sat down to eat, Isaac's thoughts were still racing with curiosity and wonder. He knew that this was only the beginning of his journey to uncover the mysteries of the universe. And so, with a heart full of determination and a mind brimming with questions, Isaac Newton set out on a path that would one day change the world. Isaac continued his quest to understand gravity with unwavering determination. He spent countless hours reading, experimenting, and pondering the mysteries of the universe. Each day brought new discoveries, and each night he would gaze up at the stars, wondering what secrets they held. One afternoon, as Isaac was sitting under his beloved apple tree, he noticed an old man approaching. The man had a long white beard and twinkling eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. "Hello, young Isaac," the man said with a kind smile. "I hear you've been asking questions about gravity." Isaac nodded eagerly. "Yes, sir. I'm trying to understand how it works and why it affects everything around us." The old man chuckled. "I see you've been talking to the apple. It's good to be curious and to seek answers. I am Professor Galileo, and I have studied the stars and the motions of objects for many years. Perhaps I can help you on your journey." Isaac's eyes widened with excitement. "Oh, yes, please. I would love to learn from you, Professor Galileo." The two of them spent the afternoon discussing gravity, motion, and the nature of the universe. Professor Galileo explained how he had used a telescope to observe the stars and planets and how he had discovered that objects of different weights fall at the same rate. "It's all connected, you see," Professor Galileo said. "Gravity is a force that acts between all objects, pulling them toward each other. It's what keeps the planets in their orbits and causes objects to fall to the ground." Isaac listened intently, absorbing every word. "But why does gravity work that way? What makes it so powerful?" The professor smiled. "Ah, that is a question that even the wisest scholars ponder. Some say it is a fundamental force of nature, woven into the very fabric of the universe. Others believe it is a manifestation of the harmony and balance that governs all things." Isaac's mind buzzed with new ideas and possibilities. "Thank you, Professor Galileo. You've given me much to think about." As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the countryside, Professor Galileo bid Isaac farewell. "Remember, young Isaac, never stop questioning and exploring. The world is full of wonders waiting to be discovered." Isaac watched the professor walk away, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that his journey to understand gravity was far from over. With newfound determination, he continued his studies, conducting experiments and making meticulous observations. One crisp autumn day, as Isaac was sitting in his study, a thought struck him. What if gravity is not just a force that acts on objects here on Earth, but a universal force that affects everything in the cosmos? Excited by this idea, Isaac began to formulate a theory. He imagined the entire universe as a grand tapestry, with gravity acting as the thread that held it all together. He realized that the same force that caused the apple to fall from the tree also kept the moon in orbit around the Earth and the planets in orbit around the sun. Isaac decided to put his theory to the test. He gathered his notes, drew diagrams, and performed countless calculations. His experiments confirmed his suspicions. Gravity was indeed a universal force, affecting all objects in the universe. One evening, as Isaac was gazing at the stars, he felt a sense of awe and wonder. "The apple was right," he whispered. "Gravity is a force that connects the earth and the heavens, a force that binds the universe together." Years passed, and Isaac's work on gravity became known far and wide. He published his findings in a book that would change the course of history. The world marveled at his discoveries, and he became known as Sir Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists of all time. One day, as Sir Isaac was walking through the countryside, he came across an old, gnarled apple tree. He smiled, remembering the apple that had sparked his journey of discovery. He sat down under the tree and closed his eyes, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "Thank you, little apple," he said softly. "You helped me see the world in a whole new way." And so, the story of gravity, from the apple that fell from the tree to the stars in the sky, became a tale of wonder and discovery, inspiring generations to come. The end.